G'day all you tipping tryhards and welcome to Cammers. Now, I thought I had some decent tips for my previous one, but apparently I did not. Because I didn't do the greatest previous. But I think I did okay, other than a couple of the whack job ones that I really shouldn't have done in the end. And then we got the obvious one wrong. That everyone tipped twice. There was two of them. If you say you tipped one of them, then you're a liar. If you say you tipped the other one, then I would have believed you, but I was too much of a pussy to do it. So can we just go through the other ones now quickly, please? I have my phone again for the previous things of tips. I tipped Essendon to beat Crom, which didn't happen. Very close, very decent game, and well, Crom actually tried for once, which is I respected. They actually did do something outside of Adelaide Oval. Then I did Giants and Suns, which really makes me sad because I do like the mighty Sun, but they just don't play away from home. They had some gumption in like the middle of the game, and then they just kind of gave up. Oops. And then the obvious one, St Kilda was definitely smashing West Coast. West Coast even at home are terrible, and then outside of home they are nothing. They are genuinely zilch. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have done so much better, but they let St Kilda belt a team, and St Kilda never beat teams this much. They never do it. They only beat them by like a couple. And then I tipped the Hawks on Collingwood. Very good game. Holy hell, Hawks really pummeled Collingwood. And if Collingwood don't wake up soon, they are screwed. Which a lot of people probably weren't saying a couple weeks ago. Even after those kind of pretty meh losses. Now they're really starting to look like they're falling off the wayside. Not good. And then I had the Cats to beat the Western Bulldogs, which, well, quite frankly, I should have tipped the Bulldogs. Even because, I mean, they beat Carlton, and I literally thought, okay, surely they actually have a good chance of this because, well, if we beat them at GMHBA and the Bulldogs do better at GMHBA than we do, they have a very good chance. And by a good chance, they beat them more than we ever could. They actually didn't let them go up. They didn't even let them slightly come close to their score after they started going bonkers. They didn't even let them score, I think, a goal in the first quarter, which is insanity. Which hilariously is not the actual first time that happened this week, which is mental. And then yeah, I had Richmond to beat Port Adelaide, which of course didn't work. But look, to be honest with you, Richmond had every chance to actually win this because our defence was very terrible. Again, we just kind of had the midfield really going well, like sometime around the end of the actual game, which did it very well in our favour, thank God. But I don't know, I still really feel like we play awful at home. For some strange reason, we're terrible at home, and I hate it. I want us to wake up, but I don't know if it's going to happen very anytime soon. What a shame. And then I had the Sydney Swans to beat Brisbane Lions, and it was a really good game. That was a very, very good game. The Swans just, look, I think both teams played somewhat sloppily, but that's only because I think they're just so evenly matched right now. It is kind of a form of miracle that Sydney didn't actually lose by more, considering they did waste a fair few opportunities more than what Brisbane did. But Brisbane kind of stifled those by getting too many points. They could have gotten more goals, but they screwed up some easy stuffs, I reckon. But you know what? Credit to Brisbane, they're waking up something insane. And I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm real worried because I don't want to see Brisbane win another premiership for some time, but it might happen. We'll see. Second last game. Well, I had Freo to beat Melbourne, which they would definitely were. 100% were. Because, look, man, if Freo belted them at the MCG, you really think that's not going to happen at Optus? Everyone's like, oh, they might have a cheeky chance. Nah. Melbourne are currently a shell of themselves, and I think they're going to be along with us at not making the 8. They are not going to be able to really clinch much things after this, I don't think, just like we will. Even if they don't seem like terrible games, I genuinely don't think they've got much a chance at the minute. And then your final game, which I'm just, man, Carlton and North Melbourne. Why didn't North Melbourne win? I wanted North Melbourne to win so badly, and they fucking blew it. Of course. They had to ruin it, everything. They had Carlton on the ropes and they just let it slip. But that's a good sign because that means they're actually starting to get the swing of things and kind of growing up, their team's kind of growing up and kind of figuring themselves out, which is boding good for next year. It's boding good for next year. I think if they do some more like trainee stuffs and actually really start getting into the nitty gritty, they're going to start getting close to even, I think, better even what Adelaide's doing right now. Well, foot. Well, that was the tips for the previous round. Let's do round 20s, 2-0. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Of course, the first game on the Friday has to be between Port and Carlton. Why wouldn't it be? Just to punish me a little bit more for tipping us against us at home. Look, I just thought we'd play worse at home, and Crum lost to Richmond. So I thought Richmond would actually do something. And you know, they actually tried a little bit. And then our midfield kind of actually clicked into gear a little bit late and melted them. But our midfield loves to click at Marvel. So I'm going to be tipping us for some strange reason. I don't think it actually is going to be a close game either. I feel like if we're going to win, we either win by a lot or lose by a lot. I don't think there's going to be a middle ground. I'm going to say Port by like 28, only because I think if we want to win, if we want to get this win, we got to get a big win. At some point, we got to get an unprecedented big win that's coming up, or we are boned for finals, or we're just not going to get there at all. It's just not going to happen. So we need something, and quick. Then the first game on the Saturday, because again they keep playing the same game and the same times. You got North Melbourne and Geelong. And you wouldn't believe it, but I'm going to do the second whack job tip in a row and tip North Melbourne. Screw it. North Melbourne are waking up. I feel like they played good footy at Blundstone. Why not? I feel like Geelong are going to tank. And I keep saying this, I always do. And they always, in quotes, prove you wrong, that type of thing. But the difference is they usually can clinch things, kind of hold on when they look like they're slipping. But they're slipping big, and they slipped big before. I feel like it's just going to continue again. Because last couple of weeks, before they kind of woke up a little bit, they were really struggling. They went from 7-0 to almost 7-7. They couldn't find wins at all. And to be honest with you, that fixture wasn't that bad, so that wasn't really a good excuse there. So I'm tipping North Melbourne by like 4. I think they're gonna win. Fuck it. And again, here we go. This is when they actually start playing the games at the same bloody times again. Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Well, they're gonna be an interesting game because, well, it's gonna be at People First, but Brisbane also lives around Queensland. Funny enough. But I really don't care. I feel like I still don't think Gold Coast can be cracked at home, even against Brizzy Lions, who are very, very good right now. I feel like their 7-win streak comes to an end. I'm going to be tipping the Mighty Sun by like 12. The Mighty Sun will get this, methinks. Look, I don't know why, but I just feel like at their home, I guess the grass has been formulated enough for where their midfield can just go apeshit more than us. Well, I don't know what else would be doing it. Oh, they just start picking up the grass and eating it for some like fertilizer. Or they just randomly put something in the Powerade. I'm not sure what, but it's got to be something to do with it. Because I don't know how the fuck they're that good otherwise. So I'm just going to presume that they're going to win again at home. If they don't, they're not making finals. If you do, and then you win another away game, which you've got absolute potential to, you might actually make finals this year. And I want faith. So I'm going to give you faith. Don't screw this up. The second game at the same bloody time frame, you got St Kilda and Essendon, and as much look, Essendon are doing the same thing they did for a long time, and it's a fuck up at the end. I'm going to be tipping the Saints. Actually, I don't think Essendon are that bad, but you must remember that St Kilda did beat Sydney before, so I don't know, and that was a massive snag. And I feel like right at the moment, St Kilda are very good at marble. They're very good at defence, and I feel like Essendon hate good defences because they don't have a good forward line. Just like us, kind of, but we can clinch St Kilda because they're the bunny. So, whatever, St Kilda by 14. I don't have much faith in Essendon anymore, and I've tried, and I think no brains. It's not going to happen. And then your normal games, and then they start splitting them off almost half an hour across each other because, again, what is this fixture? You got Giants and your Melbourne Demons. And why would I ever tip Melbourne after the shellacking they got from Freo, as well as the other horrible crap that they have let themselves go through. Well, I don't know, man. I just don't feel them right now. I don't feel them at all. I'm going to tip Giants by 24. Because the Giants are at least trying their absolute hardest to get in. I feel like Melbourne are going to flop and they ain't doing nothing. They're gonna kind of just slip on the ice rink and just kind of crack their head on this. I was about to say cement, but it's actually ice because I'm an idiot. I don't know. Nah. Well, Melbourne ain't there. Ain't the thing right now. The final game on the Saturday is Fremantle and Wet Toast. Instant tip, and that's Fremantle by 44. I don't know, man. What happened to West Coast? In the middle of the season, you looked actually kind of formidable. You cracked Melbourne, and like not many people thought you'd do that. And you were actually playing good footy, and then you've just dove yourself directly into that pool of never-ending dreams. You've lost yourself, and you need to regain it. But you ain't doing it this year. You can do it next year. So Freo will just beat you, something probably. 44 points. 44 points. The first game on the Sunday is Collingwood and Richmond. Well, Richmond have a very potential chance to funny meme and beat the shit out of Collingwood, basically completely removing Collingwood's ability to get the finals. But I don't think it's happening. Collingwood should win this by like 16. Honestly, Collingwood probably won't even smell Richmond as much as you'd think. Because Richmond played pretty well against us. And I remember Richmond not playing the Adelaide Oval very well. And they played fairly alright. And Collingwood are not playing alright at all. So, I feel like on form, Collingwood is actually quite a chunk worse than Port. I know I've been hard on the boys, but I'm always hard because I'm an asshole. But Collingwood will need to get this, so I'm going to presume they'll at least try. So I'll give them the tip. Now we have Sydney Swans and Western Bulldogs for the penultimate game. What a great game. The Bulldogs are really trying their hardest to actually get into a final spot. And oh boy, I don't think it's happening for this one. Sydney by 34. Sydney at ESCG is going to be an intense task, which I think right now, only Freo have proven to do it, I think. Unless there was another one that I've missed out on. As well as I feel like if we played Sydney at the SCG, we could beat them too. Just because we're good against them, that's it. That's the only reason. So yeah, whatever. They don't really have much else to say. Bulldogs have tried very well. They're going to kind of crack their streak a little bit. I think they might pick themselves up afterwards. But you're not doing this one. No. And final game of the thing. Adelaide Crom and the Hawthorn. I'll do the other one that probably I'm going to tip Hawthorn by like 8. Just so long as they don't choke the game like they did against us, they should win. They should. Because they have been getting better since we've gone against them. So that should give Crom a run for their money. And I have like faith in the Hawk. The Hawk should do well this one. But I don't know. Their forward line, I think, is just insanity. They're able to get goals like nothing. We can't get goals for shit. But I think the one thing I think will help them is that Adelaide's defence is like non-existent. The only reason they won before is because Essendon's forward line is non-existent, which doesn't really help. Ultimately, I just don't have faith in the Crom. Terrible Crom, trash Crom, in the bin. Can't Hawk. There you go. Tips done. Very quick, nice and easy. No more. I've got nothing else. Make sure to click S and subscribe. Again, remember yourself to do that. Click that button too. You'll feel like that later. Or maybe tonight. I don't know when Lord will get out. We'll see. But I don't really have much else for you. Get out of my house.